Hello, Scale Modeling Twins. Welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice. You can either watch the US Congress debate whether they want to talk about the one big beautiful bill, or you can watch me doing some photo etch on a British model made in India and other parts of the world in Australia. So I reckon you'd rather be here because America right now. Yeah. So let's have a look what I'm up to. I've been working on a Handley Page Victor B2 blue steel and putting it all together. And this is the Revel, sorry, incorrect. The Airfix 1/72 scale Victor B2. Now, I have previously built the Matchbox one, which I didn't really enjoy. I love the aircraft. I think the wing shape, the crescent wing is just sublime. But the Airfix kit is of its age in that it's raised panel detail and wasn't so much fun. The wing attachment wasn't great. This one, on the other hand, is really enjoyable. I'm loving it. So let's bring the camera down to the bench and I'll show you what's going on right now because, as I said, I'm watching. Oh, hello, Tiff. So Tiff knows that I get stuck with Americanism and Trump and all that sort of stuff like that. I'm watching Congress talk shit, but I'd rather be here just doing this sort of stuff. So what I'm up to is, as you can see, the all the cockpit is together. The crew station compartment. So you've got 3 seats at the back, a flight engineer in the center, a pilot, co-pilot, and of course then the transparency, the canopy will drop in place perfectly like that, with really no gap at all. I think it's just a wonderful kit, really loving it. But what I'm up to, there's also bits, there's vent holes that are covered over by brass here. And I've got some other vents near the back there. You've got APU inlets and exhausts there that haven't been fitted yet. I'll wait till after it's painted. The air brake has all been enhanced with photo etch and all that sort of stuff like that. The wheel wells are been enhanced with photo etch. The whole thing has been blinged up and zhuzhied wonderfully. But what I'm up to now is this step here. There's not much left. So I have 3 sets. I have the interior, the exterior, and the air brake set. So I've done the nose. I haven't put on the nose flipper doors. I'm going to wait until it's all painted before I do that. I have done both main landing gears, lockdown actuators, and they've been sort of squared off and brassed in and all that sort of stuff. So they could do with a bit of primer and then a bit of silver. What else? Yeah, I'm going to leave the antennas. There's a couple of UHF antennas that are going to be fitted later on, and there's a VHF antenna fitted later on, and a cover on the rear of the blue steel missile that'll fit last. Now, the blue steel is done. This is when I did the Victor build, I'd assembled it's blue steel. It didn't use it on that kit though, because I went for a conventional loadout. But this one is yeah, all together, but there is a cover that'll go on and cover the rocket motor like that. And I'll do that last because, because I can. So what remains and what I'll do right now is just one step here. The main landing gear doors have quite a bit of brass that goes in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 per side. And as you see it, that's how the kit is, which is nice in itself. Let's focus a bit. There we go. So exterior, interior, and then these bits will just drop into place. And as you said, being an Edward set designed for Airfix kits, this can go either way around, left or right, but it fits absolutely beautifully. So I'll be doing that and the other ones, which is most of this. So what remains is the big flat bits will go in the flipper doors. These other thin bits, is hydraulic piping, that'll go in the main wheel wells last. and I'll do that separately. But I'm just going to carry on being live, looking up periodically at comments and whatnot, but putting together the main linear gear flippadors. Let's focus that. There we go. We'll see how we go with all this. So hello Tiff, hello Matt Mick. I have you on the background while winding down at work. Oh, cool. If you don't mind saying, Matt, what do you do for a crust? That'd be and where's my glue? So the other major problem I've had today, or the only major problem I've had today, is my super glue. I've super glued the lid onto the rest of it. I cannot get that off there. So what I have to do is take off the whole thing and then stick a toothpick into that and apply a bit of glue that way. As you see it, it's a bit uncouth, a bit Australian if you like, but we love a bit of, oh, she'll be right, mate. Export light, mate. Drink it all night, mate. Export light. We're not actually that sort of highbrow down here, contrary to popular belief. Oh, Scott's in. G'day, John. Hello from Tasmania. Why are you still up? I should ask myself because I'm in the same time zone. I enjoyed the stream that you're on. You've got a good bunch of friends there. That's great to see, Scott. And you're very welcome. And if, Tiff mentioned that she's watching this while being tattooed, so I don't think she'd want to join us live. But Scott, if you want to come on, I can send you a link if you like, and we could just talk crap and get on with it if you like. It depends what you like. No pressure. Oh, I know. Yes. So Scott says I was going to bed. Yeah, I was. So I was watching his live stream earlier on, a stream that he was on, and they're all sort of sitting there building tanks and stuff like that, and having a great little chat. I really enjoyed the stream. And I got to the point where I just went, okay, I'm out of here. Goodbye. And then I turned on YouTube, and it's US Congress, and they're just simply talking shit. Like they're talking about a bill being introduced by a guy who's committed more crimes than Al Capone, and you got half of them kowtowing to a guy that was only in it to make more money for himself. This is my stream, Tiff, so I'll say what I bloody well want. If anyone wants to deny me entry to the US, you're more than welcome, because I don't think I want to visit until this guy's term is over, because if he doesn't die in jail, yeah, I think it's probably the end of your civilization. But, sit back and watch. Because I just don't understand why anybody would think that he's in it to make, the price of groceries cheaper for old y'all. The guy is an absolute tool. But, I think some of the American people I've met are the best people I've met on the planet. They're absolutely wonderful. But, yeah, there's also some of the biggest arseholes on the planet are American as well. And I think all of them are in the White House executive branch right now. Okay, Tiff, I'm being a guinea pig for The Apprentice, so it's a free tattoo. Okay, so where are you getting a tattoo, Tiff? I'm in Durham, I guess. But we're talking about like arm, leg, or somewhere else. And is it an owlbear or something else? Help me. So I've just been watching John Farnham sing Help live. I do believe Scott would know this one. The Beatles song Help. John Farnham, an Australian singer, did a version of it before he was really big. So he had a stellar career as a teenage singer, like Girl Crush and all that sort of stuff. But then when he was older, he basically, he is widely considered as the greatest Australian singer, and certainly just an incredible voice and talent and stuff. And he's gone through some hard times lately with his own health issues and stuff like that. But oh my God, what a voice! So, Exploring Unseen from Canada is saying, hey, you're very welcome. Tiff is saying, hi, Rich. Scott would say, I would, but just fired up Red Dead. You're on the big screen. Oh, play Red Dead. Do that. I played the first maybe 3-4 missions. Really enjoyed it, but I just got into other games instead. So I finished Super Mario Brothers Wonder about this time yesterday. Fantastic game, a lot of fun. I haven't done every single world on it, but I've completed the big boss battle, got the the credits and all that stuff. So yay me. Exploring Unseen saying hi, Tiff, but he's just completed Red Dead. Very good. So it must be a bloody good game, hey, because I hear nothing but good things about it. I haven't heard anyone say, oh, it's okay. Most people say it's so much fun. All right, so what I've got is I'll do the forward bit. So it's 13 on one side, 12 on the other side. Crack on with it. 13. It doesn't really matter which way I do it. Tiff is saying you've not longer started Red Dead. I need to put it back on when I'm at home. And Matt Mook is saying the RDR2 is awesome. Red Dead Redemption 2 is awesome. Need to go back and finish it. Yeah, I need to go back and continue playing, I guess. Oh, so no, the main reason I stopped is it was on my son's PlayStation 4, PS4, whatever. But the bastard console had problems with cooling and stuff, so it would just scream like the fans would go crazy, and it wouldn't generally overheat unless I played a particular level in Fallout 76, and it would just go crazy. Really good level, but a lot of stuff was going on the screen. I was in an electrical power station, nuclear, I guess, but it was all just a lot of stuff going on, and I'd get to a particular point, and the thing, although I'd literally have a fan on it blowing, I'd have the thing out of the cabinet and sitting on its side, and I have a cooling fan blowing on the thing across the room, plus the ceiling fan in the ceiling going full blast and all that sort of stuff, and it still just go, too hot, gonna shut down. So I just got rid of that, and I've got his Xbox, bloody whatever it is, Xbox One there. So I've been playing a couple of things like that, just getting on with it. And as I say, the last game I finished on that was, what do they call it? Assassin's Creed Origins. Finished that, and then tried to load Assassin's Creed, the other one, Odyssey. But there's a problem with the disc or something or other. It just won't load. So I could either spend 12 Australian dollars, £6, and go off and get a new one, or I can just turn on another game and play things that are going to be more fun and will just bloody work, like Luigi's Mansion and things like that. So I think, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I play. It's just as long as the bastard works. Okay, let's get a bit of this down. Exploring Unseen is a good game. I've gone back to Red Dead a few times now. Okay, you've got another game going on that you're playing instead? Because I'm always up for suggestions. So this is cool. It's no surprise that I tend to spend as much on accessories, Photoetch and upgrades and stuff for kits as I do on the original kit. But it's just a thing I enjoy. Is if I'm invested in the subject matter, I want to do the best job I can. And as I mentioned before, I'd previously done the Matchbox / Revel Victor, and it just made me want to build this decent one, if you like. It was good. It was good for its time, but it's not 1982 anymore. So when that first kit came out, the Matchbox one, it was I think about a month, maybe a month and a half. before the Falklands War kicked off. So you can understand that they felt that they'd missed out on a big marketing opportunity, because they bought out a decent kit, but I couldn't get it out in the stores as much. And it was one of the biggest kits that Matchbox ever produced and stuff. And it is a good kit. They are still producing it now. The same mold is going on 40 years later. But this one is, it's only 10 years old or whatever. And I say it's chalk and cheese. The kits have come a long way, and I'm absolutely loving this build. The main problem I didn't like with the Matchbox Victor is the two wings would stick onto the fuselage just along that seam. So it felt sort of, the wing would flex. This one has, that part there has a full spar that goes across the top of the intakes and everything else. So you've got a spar across there, and you've got two strengtheners and doublers inside the wing. So it absolutely makes it firm and unmoving and everything else. But you've also got, I can't really show you, but you've got some sublime wing angles and everything else. Like part of this wing, this crescent wing of Handley Page, is just it's a beautiful thing. It's the only aircraft that's ever had a crescent wing, but it makes it absolutely unique. And it's just, I thought I knew that I would enjoy this kit, but I am thoroughly invested in this kit. It's not just something I'm doing on the side. There are a number of kits that I'm building right now. There's Tiff would know. So I'm doing a Sea Fury by Airfix, another Airfix kit, which is a lovely kit going on. I'm doing Revel Big Boy, the only Revel kit that I've made in the last, say, 30 years, and I am enjoying that. It being a train and all that sort of stuff. That's very cool. But this one is, it's a lot of fun. The next step is, so what I am doing is I'm waiting for, I've ordered from B&A in Australia, B&A hobby model, B&A model kits, a mask set. So an Edward pre-cut mask set to do all this. Now this is straightforward, and I could just do it with masking tape because these are all straight. But there are some windows on the side that are, rhomboid or circular or whatever, and it's just easier to buy a mask set for that. But I've also got a top-notch camouflage mask set coming, because the one I'm choosing to do, so the standard Victor is like that. So most of them, once I chose to go low, well, I had to go low level due to the U-2 being shot down over Russia. They went for like a temperate land scheme, European land scheme with white underside for anti-nuclear flash. So that's a standard one. So the one I'm choosing to do is this one here, which is a mix of the all white with the low vis marking and the camouflage on top. But it, as you can see it here, it doesn't have, these ones have Cushman carrots on the top of the wing and external fuel tanks under the wing there. So they look a bit different. If I get this one here, for instance, this is from the Airfix instructions. It has big external fuel tanks under the wing poking forward, and Cushman carrots poking backwards, which are a transonic sort of thing to disturb the airflow and make it so it wasn't such a shock and everything else. So you've got a big hump underneath the wing and a big hump over the wing. Well, I'm choosing neither. So this one has, look for an example. Yeah, so the hump over the wing, hump under the wing. The one I'm going for has neither. It's just the smooth wing by itself, the crescent, which is why I have just the smooth wing by itself. That's just the way I want to do it. Okay, Scott's saying he's got a third playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's an awesome game. Wonderful. So the only game I played through twice is Assassin's Creed Unity, the one that's based in Paris. French Revolution. I love the subject matter, but I just thought the gameplay in that was absolutely fantastic. In fact, I enjoyed that more than the London one, which I thought I should enjoy more. having Charles Dickens and all those sort of characters in it, Queen Victoria. I thought the gameplay was great, but oh god, get in there. But I just enjoyed Unity more because it was more. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of individuals were changing history, whereas in the UK they always had Parliament or the court deciding what would happen next. Whereas there was a loss of control in Paris, and I found it rather interesting that yes, it was a game, but it was very heavily based on facts. You had Robespierre and everything else. Matt Mook says, I've not done much PE yet. Is that tool worth investing in? This one here. Okay, so what I'm being this is just a block of aluminium, and you can see it's well scored there. So what I'm doing is basically using that as an anvil. So when I'm cutting these slices, I'm using that as a hard surface rather than say the wood on the table or the cutting mat, because I don't want to deform the brass so much. However, all these pieces that I'm fitting now are flat, right? But all the other pieces through here where they have bends in it, I tend to use these because you've got different sizes, so different widths and all that sort of stuff. And you can unwind it, flip it around to whichever way you want and use whatever thickness you need for whatever task you're doing. And you can get ones that are double or triple or 4 times this size. All you need is a little one like this. And it's just a matter of opening her up, sticking a bit of brass in, just as an example. So you can straighten that up with that. And what I do then is grab a blade, and you can go up to that mark and flip it up to 90 degrees or whatever you want. And it's going to be a much more precise bend than what you would get if you were just, say, holding it in tweezers and trying to bend it. So yeah, I reckon if you're going to do photo etch, which not forcing you to, one of these would be quite helpful because there's a lot of things where if you're making a box, for instance, if you want to get the angles right, some of the varying thicknesses and the widths here can make it a little bit easier. Not essential, you can get by with most tools, but I find it quite useful, if nothing else, than just as an anvil for cutting. And I have a sharp blade just to cut the brass here. And there's some other ones that you can use which aren't brass, they're actually stainless steel, and they're harder to cut through. So I find them absolutely, yeah, it's a good tool if you're going to use it, say 2 or 3 times. I would go off and buy one because I've used this for a number of years. Like maybe this is 7 years old or so, and you can see how many times I've cut things on it. Getting a bit rough there. And Matt's saying, great, thank you. All right. So what have we got? We got both the forward and center panels fitted there. Let's go to the top. So part 33 for both. It's saying, there we go, 33, and that symbol means same on the other side. Repeat on the other side. Where are we? Symmetrical assembly. So 2 lots of 33, which are these ones here. As you can see, they're the same. So I'll just cut them both out at once. And as I mentioned, I'm just using this as an anvil, really. Sharp blade, new blade, and cutting down there. But then the next step I do is, I'll show you in a moment, once they're off. Doesn't matter how well or otherwise I release them from the backing thing. I have this is just a standard flat metal file, and I take off this very microscopic, just 2 tangs, the sprue joints, if you like, and I just take them down to, you can either feel that they're still there or still there, or you can take them away. There we go. So these these will all be just an aluminium. So this would have been a high-speed silver. So most of the, well, all this assembly would have been um, different styles of different thicknesses and grades of steel, and the odd occasional aluminium on the aircrafts. But they would have then, with the amount of rain and everything else in the UK, they would have sprayed the aluminium with a primer followed by a high-speed silver, which is literally a silver color, which I'm quite used to because Hercs did the same. The early E-model Hercs had wheel wells all in that high-speed silver. Okay, so do I want, oh yeah, so there it's got the thicker part on top there, and you can see on the part it's got, oh, you probably can't. Yeah, come on, focus. Won't do it. Yep, it's, I can tell which way is up. It's got a thicker part on one end. As I mentioned, I'm just smearing, these are all flat, so I'm just smearing a bit of super glue with the toothpick. What do Americans call them? I can't remember. Oh no, Q-tips. They call yeah, a toothpick's a toothpick. So who am I kidding? And that would, yeah, I could slother this with super glue. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to be primed and then painted silver anyway. But these pieces, they fit remarkably well because, yeah, they're made for the kit. So yes, well done. From what I understand, Airfix, when they're building a new kit, they get on to the aftermarket people, mainly Edward and a couple other ones, and say, we're doing this, these are the plans, and in confidence, they would sit there and make up parts for it so they'd be available when the kit is released. They'd probably get a year in advance or something or other. And Edward is my go-to for Photoetch because they're consistently good. I've never had. Oh, the instructions can be problematic on occasion. In that it'll say, "Have this part, fold it, and stick it on here." And you look at it and you think, "How do they want me to fold it? Like, which one first and all that stuff like that." But generally, they are the well, they're certainly my go-to. The people in the Czech Republic do remarkable work, I think, with brass and PE and everything else. Oh my God! The beta veteran is in saying, "Hey, Milester." Tiff is saying, "Hey, boss," even though she's never been paid a cent. Hi, Tiff. Double F. Hi, Mikey, says Matt. Hey, Mikey, did you want to join? You're more than welcome, or it might be too late for you. Oh no, it's the middle of the day, isn't it? Do you want a link? I can send you a link. Let's have a look. I'll just type something here. Help me if you can. Oh, cripes. Wrong button. Oh, where's that Mikey? There he is. Oh, sorry. Just bear with. I'm just typing something. There we go. Who'd have thought that I'd actually be live this time of night? It's quite late. It's 10 to 1 in the morning here, but as I say, as Mikey would understand, I'd either do some modeling or sit here and just grit my teeth and grind my jaw watching the Americans vote how to best end their civilization. The bastards. 14 and 15. There we go. Right. All right. Carrying on then. So this is that side. That side. So file these bits down. Sorry, I'm just typing something to Mikey. There we go. All right. So which one did I file down? Was it that one or the other one? Was the other one? I'll do this one then. Alrighty then. All right. I'm making a mess of this super glue. It's sort of going everywhere. As I said, that the only thing I've managed to super glue properly is the nozzle of my super glue tube to the applicator and the cap. So, but yeah, using a oh! I got a call from Mikey. Just bear with. I'll just mute my. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So just talking to Mikey, just seeing if he's going to be able to come in. I'm doing two things at once. Oh, there we go. Yeah, here he is. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm all right, especially when somebody sends me the correct spelling for the links.
I don't know what you're talking about. Lost in translation, obviously. If you guys spoke the proper King's English, everything would be fine.
Yeah, of course. That's the reason.
Right. So this is just an impromptu sesh, as you can understand. I'm just sort of sitting here, putting bits of brass on and stuff. Like, you are more than welcome. In fact, it's great to see you. I did see your post before, and that was a warm fuzzy. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
22 and 23, he says.
I am putting stickers in the envelopes because I've only just got back in from shopping.
Oh, how was shopping?
Yeah, it's all right. I got a nice new pair of shorts.
Oh, okay. Nice. Oh, because it's summer, of course.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. It's a bit cold for shorts, but it's not really. So we're into the middle of your summer and the middle of my winter. So I'm wearing a thick jumper here at the moment. And it stopped raining for now, but it was like sideways rain before, and it has been for 2 days now. So not great.
Yeah.
Alrighty, where was I? 22 and 23. These can go any way around at all.
Hey, he's just opened the door and like sprayed some air freshener in the hall and stuff. I just came to the door and looked at me and went, "You're right." She went, "It wasn't me farting, you know." I went, "I know. I was watching you." It sounded nothing like that. So there is.
Sounded nothing like that. Are you admitting she actually does fart?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay.
Pain of death.
Very good.
There you go. There's Modder's sticker going in.
That looks awesome.
I've just got to print the labels off.
Let's have a look at that again. Let's zoom in on you, because I've got the powerful ones.
I'm impressed you figured out how to do that.
Oh, I knew before. It's just you won't let me, you bastard. That looks really cool. Is that actually her face, or is that just a standard sort of AI?
It's just an AI image I created.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then that ones as well. They look cool then, don't they?
They do, yeah.
They're a lot dark.
As I mentioned, I got mine earlier today. So mine, I don't know if they're different. I think mine are different to yours. I'll grab mine. I'll show you why. Bear with.
So that one's for modders. Matt's is in the box with his kit ready. So I just need to print some stuff off for that. And that one's for Timmy. Nope, that was not for Timmy. That one's for Nia. And then that one's for Timmy.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I'm going to address it to you, John. You just forward it on. I've put an envelope inside it.
No dramas at all. If you want, I can give you his postal address. It's a private message.
That's up to him, isn't it?
Well, it is, but
people's addresses.
Yeah, but he won't mind. He would trust you as much as you trust him.
Yeah, he's Navy. As long as my back's to the wall, I'll trust him.
Matt is saying back in a bit. He's off to feed his head. Oh my God, Duke is in. What are you doing at this time of day, John? Oh, I know, right? As I mentioned earlier, I was watching Carl and his friends make sort of tank models and stuff like that, and I thought, goodbye, I'm going to bed, and then flicked on US Congress and started sitting there just going, this is, what, I'd rather do some modeling than watch this gack. So just an impromptu thing. And I'm literally just doing some main landing gear, flipper doors before
Nice.
before I go to bed. So these are the BVC.
Try holding them under the camera, John.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm just leaning across to try to hit this button that says solo layout like that. Right. So it's the same sticker, but
Yeah.
you'll see the outer edge isn't square.
It's rounded.
It's sort of, yeah, it's rounded there. It goes up before it comes down, and it
Oh,
bows,
yeah.
and then sort of, it's not straight at the bottom either. It's just not 100%, but it's good enough.
Yeah. The picture's good, and that's what matters.
Oh yeah, that's right. And as Tiff says, ooh, shiny.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. So
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them on my store in private so that when we have more competitions,
yeah.
I've got them ready.
So there'll be 2 in the mail early morning tomorrow. One going to Timber and one going to Duke Wellington as a Bearded Veteran Creates competition winner.
Yes.
So you'll get that in the mail, Duke. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. And Timbo is saying it's 2 a.m., right? Haha, hit the like. So Timmy, now you're here. You're going to get one of these sent to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it stopped raining here. I hope it stopped raining for you.
Get all the rest you can before your baby's born.
Yeah. Now I need to exit my solo layout and go back to the pair of us.
Yes. I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
I know. It's just, as I mentioned, Timmy, I could talk about politics, but you're just going to go, yeah, no. Yeah, Mussolini was right and all that stuff like that.
I don't think Timmy would say that.
Yeah, well, I can't say the other guy's name.
Oh, yeah. Tim, you got the other sticker you're getting as well, which is coming from me. From my side at World is that one.
Oh yeah. And Timbo's saying ace. It looks a mint.
Yeah.
And Duke is quite rightly saying, thanks, guys. What are you doing awake, Timo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Duke is asking that question because he's probably in the tree outside your lounge room right now with his night vision goggles on, watching you sleep. Well, watching your wife sleep. I can neither confirm nor deny. Where are we? 22 and 23. Go up there. Yeah. So as I mentioned, this is, it's not a pre-planned thing or anything at all. I'm just doing this because I'm up and I thought I'd just do this just because I can, really. So you'd understand there is a thing going on, Mikey, where I don't necessarily want to do more lives myself, but having so many sessions with you a week is a bit restrictive. Mind you, I've got all day, every day where I can go live and do all sorts of stuff like that. I just cannot be bothered. Well, that's not necessarily true. I am doing other things, but I'll get around to it. But I very much enjoy doing the live streams with you and your mates anyway.
Well, we're happy to have you as much as you want, John.
Duke is saying, oh, I have a camera all set up tomorrow. Pleasant dreams. Well, that's disturbing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
awesome. So,
Timmy, I would check outside the window just in case, especially if your wife
watching the stream that don't know, Duke Wellington, one of his jobs is to take notes, watching people sleep and sleep apnea and all that sort of stuff like that.
He claims it's his job.
Yeah, well, maybe it's his hobby. Either way.
It's like us on YouTube, I think.
Yeah. So I haven't asked Mikey, what are you playing with at the moment? You're not doing your bike because you weren't really enjoying that one yesterday.
No. Well, I need to crack on with the Sea Fury and the Big Boy because I need to be ready for tomorrow. But tomorrow afternoon, I'm going out with my daughter, so I want to be able to relax and not have to worry about coming home and doing prep and things.
Very good.
Pardon me. So,
All right. Yeah, I haven't. I mentioned last week that I was going to have the Sea Fury painted blue and everything before we go live, but that's still 2 days away. That's a Friday thing for me and you. And with the big boy, I'm thinking all I could do really there to prepare is say if I put the decals on offline and just concentrate on the base, but
well,
there's not that many decals, and I could do it during the stream anyway.
I need to find the 2 rear sets of wheels. I think they've fallen off the shelf somewhere.
You've still lost them?
Yeah.
Oh, Timbo's been a bit of a night owl recently, but I've snuck off to bed now, as Duke would know. Ha ha! Just watching on the phone for a bit. No, go to sleep, dude. But great to have you join again, as always.
Yeah. It's always nice to have Timbo along.
Yeah. The new Australian correspondent, the one that doesn't talk shit. Oh, no, that's at the wrong end. Let's take that one off again and put it on backwards. Let's take that off.
I didn't realise we'd done so many hours in that.
Oh, it's amazing.
That was impressive. Ooh, what book's do I get? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, I got that big box with parcel in the other day.
Yeah.
The one that had my Airfix Spitfire kit in.
Yes.
Turns out it's exactly the right size for Matt's price.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's a happy coincidence.
Sure is.
Saves me buying a box.
Yes. There we go. That's very good.
Yeah. So I was typing a little letter up for him, put in the box before. So nice like that. I like to show my appreciation.
All right. What's next? 35.
Hmm.
So these are the last, all that remains after these larger parts. These are the nose flip doors. That's the inner lining of the main landing gear doors. But all that remains is these various antennas, which I won't put on until after the whole thing is done. And the hydraulic lines for the main gear, well, which won't go on until the main gear is in place because, well, here's, as you see it, they crawl along the bottom of the main landing gear well, and then the hide lines hook up onto the downlink, and you've got the retract, extend, and yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
But they'll go on later on.
Have you ever seen the photo of me and Kay on our wedding day?
No, I don't know if I have or not. Crikey, blimey, mother God. Let's have a look at you. Oh, you're the one on the right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So why have you got an arrow pointing at your bouquet?
What? What about? No, it's a handkerchief thing. Pocket square.
Oh, I see, with the metal underneath.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We need to get that mounted at some point. There you
Well, you're talking about Kaylee.
go. Yeah.
Very
need to get
nice.
that mounted at some point.
So that's clearly not in Wales because it looks like blue sky to me. No, it's grey. You're right. It's in Wales. Oh no, there's blue sky up there.
We're all there.
You must have gone across the border.
No, it's on our side of the border.
You don't have blue sky there, mate.
We do. We've got blue sky today. Do you want to see the car we had? That car belongs to the Cray twins.
Of course it did. What is it, a Wolseley or something? Or what is that?
I have no idea. There are other pictures.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, there's
so Duke is saying, Mikey, have you watched Bad News on tour yet?
No, not yet. I've been busy.
And he's saying, Timma, the blue light from your phone is not good for sleep. Yeah.
No, but the chloroform in his handkerchief is.
Awesome.
I've got other pictures of the cat somewhere. Sure, where it is. Oh, there you go. That's a K in front of me with the car.
Oh, nice. Cool.
It's a Triumph.
A Triumph.
Certainly was.
Very good.
It was a Triumph of a day.
Excellent. Well, so what's next? 21, 24.
You need to put that somewhere safe. You won't forgive me if I lose.
Oop.
See, I don't want to mask the sea fury until I'm going to spray, because if you leave the masking tape on too long, it starts taking bloody.
That's true. Timbo says, I'll defer to the expert, night fellas. And Duke is saying, disturbingly, don't sleep on your back either, Timmy.
Yeah, stop sleeping on your back, Tim.
Oh, God. That's so weird. It's so creepy. And, yeah, and professional at the same time.
Creepy yet professional.
Hmm.
Kind of was all over, really, isn't it?
Oh, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think what
So
the hell.
you were trying to decide what we were going to do after the Jeep, is that right? Like, you know, 'cause-
Yeah. I was thinking because there's my list. Okay, so we had Whippet, Spitfire. So we had tank, plane, train, tank, train. Then it's Jeep next. So I'm thinking.
Sorry, disturbingly again, Duke says, and put some pajamas on, Timbo.
Yeah.
You were thinking?
I'm thinking either the an MHA Mark 5 tank.
Okay.
Because it's a nice simple kit and it's a cheap one. Or doing the tropical RF Tropical World War II theme. But I don't know if people want us to do the same kit on Thursdays, do the same kit, or are they happy with just a theme or whatever? I think it's interesting seeing us all make the same kit in different ways.
Well, what about widening it a little bit and making it a North Africa campaign? And you could do either German, Italian, British, Canadian, Australian, New Zealand.
Actually, that's not a bad idea because I've got Tropical Hurricane and I've got a Messerschmitt, so I could do the Hurricane.
Because the only tropical one I've got is Black Six, the one that I picked up a couple of weeks ago with Duke down in Melbourne, showing here. That one.
Yeah.
But I'd be quite happy. Like, I've not built a tropical scheme, anything at all. So I'd be very happy to make anything at all. If you want to keep it to a British, more than happy.
That makes no odds to me.
There's something about that azure blue underneath that I just think it's an awesome color. So I'd happy to go either way. What if we ask Gary and see what he reckons?
Sounds like a good idea, buddy.
You know, I just
I've got.
I want it to be not about me, not particularly about you, even though it's your channel and yada yada. But
that's the Hurricane I've got.
Yeah, good looking kit that. So I recently built the what brand was it? The Hurricane.
But I could always do that as
Armor Hobby.
UK colours.
I was in the temperate
Oh.
landscape, the standard sort of grey-green or brown-green.
Yeah, because I was thinking of doing like the 3 main aircraft from the Battle of Britain.
Yep. So what are the other schemes in that kit? Are they all tropical?
There's a tropical one and there's a silver one.
A silver one.
Oh, looks like, yeah.
Okay, 33.
I'll have a think.
We have weeks and weeks to decide. I think it'd be
Yeah.
fine. I think either way, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, this might be a complete red herring. We might choose something completely different. You never know.
Yeah. So the MHA kits, they would be cheap, but they're not available anywhere I could find in Australia. So I may need to order it from overseas.
I thought
Which
they
is
had them over there
not. Sorry.
I thought they had them over there last time. We looked.
Let me have a look again tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they are.
If
I'll have a
not, then
look.
don't worry. I can do that on my own time.
I'll let you know. I'll have a look around.
Yeah. What else we got? We got the Tamir Churchill tank,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't overly expensive.
No.
We've just done a Model T, and we'll have just done the SS Jeep. So a normal wheeled vehicle would be a bit too much. Ooh, how much did I pay for that one? Ooh.
What are you looking at?
I shall show you.
Ooh. Zoom in on you. Oh, okay. What scale is that?
1/35th.
Okay.
That could be an interesting one.
I'd be interested. Yeah.
All right, let me run it by Gary tomorrow then.
Because there's various scales and companies and all that sort of stuff. Some have internal structure, some are just surface. Either way, but
yeah, this one's
I'd
with
be,
the one I've got.
yeah, I'd be thrilled to do that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, cool. Cool. And it's only 30 quid here. So it's not too expensive. So, yes. I'm going to have a can of ginger beer.
You're going to have a ginger beer?
Yeah. Not a ginger beard, a ginger beer. So how many people we got watching, John?
4.
Ah, the 4 best people in the world. I bet one of Duke's not watching anymore. He's too busy watching Tim in bed with his trousers down his ankles.
Oh God.
Yeah. That's it. I can do some dry brushing on him, I think.
On Tim?
No! Oh, I can paint.
Ah.
On Albert. On Albert.
Albert. There we go. So that's one completed. I'm going to zoom in on me because I can. Solo layout. Let's get the. There we go.
That sounded almost sexual then, John.
Yeah. Yeah, but as you see, like the Edward brass perfectly matches the Airfix plastic, so that's really nice. And a bit of primer and a bit of silver on that, I think it'd look fine. And then a wash, of course, because the only way you're going to see all these rivets and everything else is if you do a bit of a wash on it.
Yes. Have you seen who commented?
Oh, George.
Hello,
Hey,
George.
all a long time no see. Switch jobs and the breaks are shorter, so can't watch during the day. Lol. Oh,
Aw,
you're very welcome, George.
yeah, always welcome.
And Duke is coming back. I can multitask, Mikey, but I don't think that I can sell the video from Timmy. He's all covered up now.
It's all right. That's what the little what's it called boat hooks for. You just slide it through the window.
Oh God.
All Tim knows is that it's like the film Poltergeist, and the duvet's just slowly sliding down him.
Oh, what you call a duvet, we call a doona.
A doona
Doona.
sounds like something that comes out the back passage.
Well, duvet sounds like something comes out the front passage. What can I say? Ah, all right. Last bit of brass.
What was it? Oh yeah. Right. Oh, this fucking thing. Nope. Stay down, you swine. Right. Let's get some light tan earth. And it is the bottle, not me.
Alrighty. So I believe, while I'm here, I might as well do the nose flipper doors as well. 3031, H45 and H44. So I'm actually running out of bits to do on the
Right.
Victor. It's just about ready for paint. It's all like everything has been, sanded back and filled with 43, 44, 45, 44. Yeah. So these last bits of brass, as I mentioned, apart from the one where I put in the hydraulic lines after the main landing gear is placed in the wells.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not much plastic left on these. I've got a couple of bits and bobs for air-to-air refueling probe and windshield de-ice. I can't remember what they're called. The glycol spray to get rid of water, so they don't use wipers.
Yeah.
And what not? Oh, Hobby Time is in, saying hi, guys. You're very welcome.
Hey, hobby time.
Mentioned at the top of the hour, this is just an impromptu live. It just saved me from watching US Congress collapse in on themselves.
Sounds like the UK government, to be honest.
Australia's not so bad at the moment. Like, most of what is annoying us politically is happening overseas. And of course, America's taken the major precedent. Just because,
See, you got to be careful with what you say because Paul will be very annoyed if you get the channel taken down.
I don't know. Would I?
Yes. When you get carried away, you would.
Well, I'm not calling for insurrection or anything at all. I just think that they can make better choices. But their destiny is up to themselves. But oh my God, surely anything else is a better option.
The way I see it is they're still a young country, so they're still growing up and learning.
Yeah, but they're older than us.
No, they're not.
We seem to. What do you mean? We're federated in 1901.
Yeah, I don't live in Australia, dude.
Thank God for that.
We've got houses in this country that are older than Australia, a lot older than Australia.
This is true.
We've got pubs that are a lot older than Australia by
I
about
know.
80 years.
I don't know if I told you the story that when Paul and I we were staying at a place in Himley called Himley House. It was about 30 odd miles from Telford. So when we went to the Telford Scale Model World,
Well, you've been to Telford, have you?
sorry,
You've been to Telford, have you?
I have. What are the
Oh.
odds? So we were there. So we pulled up. Actually, we're leaving one morning to go to Telford on a Sunday. And there's a guy at the front door, and he's opening and closing this wooden door. And we're just watching him. And Paul and I standing there with our sort of like backpack and whatever, and we just couldn't fit through. And we're sort of like, "You're right." And he said, I'm going to write a letter of complaint to, there's a brewery that owned it, something or other Green or something or other.
Yeah.
Um, because this door, it's inoperable. It doesn't work. And I'm looking at the door, thinking, I didn't say anything, but I'm thinking it's older than my country because it would have been put there like certainly before 18. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Whatever year it was installed.
Yeah.
Literally older than Australia. And I'm just thinking, well, it's still pretty cool. Now the thing is, at the end of that day, when we got home, we went in the front door again, and we couldn't open it ourselves because, of course, temperature change and all that sort of stuff like that. It was sort of stuck shut. So we're reefing on this thing, trying to open it, and I'm just thinking, yeah, he's got a point.
This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, you look at, there's a pub called the well, it used to be a pub, it's a house now, called the Old Ram Inn, and it's
Oh
nearly
yeah,
1,000 years
sounds like
old.
something you'd hang out at.
It's like a haunted house thing now.
Oh,
For like a proper haunted house, not a fairground thing. Yeah, it's about 1,000 years old.
oh my God, insane.
I mean, we've got church by us that's 800 years old, and an abbey as well.
Wow. Yeah, no. So yeah, we're a little bit younger here. I think it's all good.
Yeah.
So I was talking to we had at Photoetch today at the Air Museum where I volunteer. We had a school bus of TAFE students come through. TAFE is Technical and Further Education. I think
Yes.
what would you call maybe a polytechnic or something or other? Would that be
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like apprenticeships and things like that. Apprentice
Yeah.
college.
So they were studying aviation. Yeah, aviation engineering, I'd imagine. But
Yeah.
maybe they were first year students or whatever. Because I think, so what do you know about aircraft engines? Oh, really nothing. All right, let me take you through them. So I started with the Camel and
Yeah.
rotary engine, then a radial engine, then a V12, so there's a Merlin, and then going on. Oh no, Cheetah, then a Merlin, then a Neen, and went on from there an Avon, yada yada yada, yada and went
Yeah.
up to the F 104, which is the Hornet engine.
Yeah.
And they were just like, wow, and all that sort of stuff. But they were very interested in sort of everything. And then of course we had a couple of we had a couple of sorties of F-35s taking off, and everything stopped while they went out and watched all that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they were loving it. By the end of the day, they were just like, "Thank you so much. That was awesome. We'll be back." And I thought, "Yay, it was great." So I had their attention for the full, say, 2 hours. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't mention you once, Mikey.
Good. You did. I bet you did in a way, but not quite. You sort of went, oh, by the way, did you know I'm on YouTube 4 times a week?
He's on to us.
Yeah.
Gary Evans is in saying, hello, John. What the time? What time is it there, dude? Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
If you're bored and you want to join us, I can flick you a link. It's up to you, Gary, but there's absolutely no pressure. I just,
John
as I
doesn't
mentioned,
John doesn't know how to flick links.
No, I could improve over the last one. I just thought you understood technology.
Well,
Clearly
I
not.
do, but the problem is when you give me the wrong you misspelled a link.
I
Twice.
may have given you the incorrect link twice. I'd rather not dwell on the past. I think, it's all about futures.
It's all about the
Yeah.
base.
No travel.
No.
Oh, it's raining again here. What a surprise.
Oh, Bechod.
What did you say? Bethod?
Bechod.
What does that mean?
Um,
Does that pull your head in?
no, it's like poor you sort of thing.
Oh,
Poor darling. It's Welsh sarcasm.
so Gary's saying he's got to film his Spitfire TR9 build, mate, but I'll stick around until I need to go cook dinner. Well done. Hope you enjoy that kit. It does look like a bit of a cracker. It's not on my to-do list yet, I must say. Have I mentioned I've decided on my next build after this, Victor?
Oh, no, you haven't.
I have, in fact,
No, you
decided
haven't.
on my next build on this thing. So I've got a Wildcat, an F. Oh God, let's have a look. Take these glasses off. Walk across to the shelf. I have an F4, F3 Wildcat.
Yes.
So I was discussing the other day after we finished the stream. So what I found is the detail scale view. I don't know where he's from, probably Lithuania or Yugoslavia or somewhere. But basically, he reviews, just box reviews of different kits and yada, yada, yada. So he's got an Edward F4 F4 Wildcat wing fold mechanism. So it comes with basically upper and lower wing for both sides, and the resin for the wing fold, the stow wing system. So inner wing, outer wing, plus other bits and bobs and yada yada. And I'm just looking at that, just thinking, oh, I could do one of those. So it's in the mail. So
Sweet.
that'll be what I'll do next, just because it's something I've never done before. I've not done any American Naval Pacific sort of thing, even though you'd think I should have, because it's sort of like local theatre and all that stuff like that. But I've just not gone there.
No, you haven't done for a while, other than on my streams. You haven't done
So
a vehicle.
no, I haven't. So George is saying hi, Gary. He's actually saying hey, Gary. And Gary's, so far it's the best 148 scale Spitfire they've made yet. Wow,
Oh,
that's
Gary, don't, because then you're going to make me want to buy it.
wow. I have looked at who was looking at it. Somebody was doing a box review. I can't remember now. And I was thinking, oh, that's different because, of course, by having the aft cockpit and everything else, it is different from every other Spitfire kit that's been out until now. So again, clearly, I think Airfix they still remain my favourite model kit company due to the range that they have. I mean, British Aviation being my sort of go-to. They're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled with what they're bringing out. I'm so happy. I've mentioned I recently got the Jaguar. It's sitting in my cupboard. I can't touch it for literally 6 months, but I'm happy for it to remain there because, for 2 days it was sitting beside my bench here, and I didn't sort of take out my knife and cut the sticky tape, the packing tape, so it's all sort of unsealed. So when I get to it, it'll just be like, oh, that's really good. I like that. Okay. Blip-a-doo. Oh, I can see on my channel, can't I?
Yeah, because you don't care if you get your channel taken down. I just wouldn't insult you by singing or by claiming to be singing.
Okie dokie. Oop. Don't want to get this misaligned. There we go.
So yeah, on tomorrow's stream, John, I'm gonna have to leave dead on 2 o'clock because I've got to be in Chester for 3.
Okay.
So no getting caught up trying to explain things at like 1 minute past 2.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think that's a lie, a dirty stinking lie. Oh, I haven't shown you. So when we went to Duke and I and the Better Marley went to the Melbourne Sky Model Show. So SMS Paints, Scott Taylor, I bought some paint from him, and he there's a couple of stickers there for the show only. So you got this one here. Let me zoom in. And I'll stick these in the mail for you and Gary.
Oh, that's very kind.
Because I can. So SMS Paints.
That's nice.
Airbrush Hobby Paints. Let me focus on that. Isn't that lovely?
They are lush.
And the other ones, which are even better.
Ooh, cheeky.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So the highly glitter and all that sort of stuff. So I bought. He said grab as many as you need. So I grabbed one for me, one for you, one for Gary, one for the other Gary, and stuff. So they'll be in the mail shortly.
That's very kind of you, buddy.
Yeah. Unlike some YouTube channels, these ones are quality.
Yeah. We get and all our panelists give a shit about each other.
Oh, ooh.
We are social creatures.
Yeah.
We don't sit in our basement on our own making videos.
So they're nice. You'll get those, as I say, like, you know. I've got some other things. Yeah. So you the other ones, as I mentioned, the holographic ones from your channel are being mailed in the morning, going off to the competition winners. But yeah, it's very, very cool. All right, I think I'm running out of things to do on this thing. I think I should actually go to bed. Oh no, there's 2 more bits I could stick on, 9 and 10.
Yeah. Kay's just explained something to me.
9 and 10. Where does 39 go? Oh, it's a nose wheel well down there. All right, I've got 3 more bits to put on that amount of brass, which is good because, you know, I've got 3 actual sets and this will be the end of all 3 of them. Oh, and Gary says, oh, thanks, John. Not a problem.
See, we all love each other. We're all buddies.
So what's this? 9 and 10.
Even if he is RF Regiment and lets all the soy boys into the camp.
Soy boys?
Soy boys.
That's something I've never heard. What does that mean?
Guys that are like all the vegan sort of activist types.
Well, that actually makes sense.
They got way too much soy in their system. So Gary and his mates let them into camp because they feel sorry for them.
Oh. Oh, right here.
Oh, Kay, I think Kay's just heaved because she's just seen my tea. I'm having shredded hoisin duck and
thinking about a duck you got.
Oh, wonderful. Tiff saying, sorry, I'm dropping in and out. Lots of banter in the tattoo shop. I love these guys. Other than you lot, they're some of my best friends.
Oh,
great to hear. Just hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I'm having shredded hoisin duck and baked potatoes.
Oh,
yeah. And Kay's just looked at it and gone, because she doesn't like the look of raw meat and stuff.
Oh, okay. How is she? Like, she's not still throwing up or whatever, is she?
No. But yeah, things did take a turn for the worse over the last few days. But I'll tell you that offline.
Yeah. But wish her all the best as always.
I will, buddy. Hopefully, she should be all right to come with me tomorrow.
Duke is saying, John, do you need to prime the Photoetch parts, or do the SMS paints go over it? Well, I tend to prime brass regardless. So what I'm finding is, so I have done I've lined the main wheel wells, but because I've been holding this up, like on occasion, putting my fingers in the main wheel wells and let me zoom out a bit. So to hold this thing occasionally, I've been grabbing it that way, like a bowling ball, if you like. And you could see there's parts of I'll zoom in, even though I primed it and then I painted it with the SMS paints, there's parts of it are still rubbing off. So I've got the brass showing under the silver there.
Yeah.
Right. So I do the best I can. Like, what I find is with the brass, if I don't prime it, regardless of whether it's SMS or enamel or whatever type of paint, it will still erode. I do prime it. I tend to use the best primer that I can find, which is the Tamiya rattle can primer. Although I've decided to give, to my detriment, I've decided to give Vallejo another bloody go. And I've tried this stuff as much as I can, and I hate it. Cannot work
It's
for
easy
me.
to use.
So I bought another bottle of it, just a smaller one, just Vallejo primers. 74, 801, and 73, 601. Oh,
What's the one I've
74.
got?
It's probably the
74,
same. It's
601.
probably 601 and
Yeah,
73, 601.
I've got that same surface primer, the big bottle.
Okay. I
don't have a problem with it.
I can't get on with it. It just doesn't work for me. So I bought another one of the same to give it another crack.
What
we'll
I
see how
found
that
is
goes.
don't load up your airbrush with it. Just put a little bit in at a time.
Yeah,
otherwise it dries
but I'm
quite
also so Paul is recommending 15 drops of this to 15 drops of thinner to 2 drops of the wherever it is, that one, the airbrush flow improver. So
I've never
I'll give
used
this
it.
a go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I find it does work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of this stuff. I could be if this works, but there might be something wrong with this bottle, because even Paul gave this one a go and he couldn't get it to work. So, happy for that to go in the bin and, go to God. Gary's saying, by the way, did you hear the
Galleria.
Galleria is launching a range of
Galleria with a H and an L, not Galleria with an N.
Yeah, is launching a range of acrylic airbrush paints. Oh, are they really? Got some samples arriving soon, a mecha set and some metallics. I had not heard that. Always impressed with all the fingers on pulses that Gary has, like the Monday Matters. Every week I'm watching that saying, how the hell? I haven't heard of this company. How has he heard of them? But yeah.
Scalemates.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it, to be honest.
He does it very well.
Maybe he asks Mystic Mug.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Ooh,
that's what that little side room is.
Oh, they sound awesome, Gary. Yeah, because they do.
Yeah.
So you're saying siren? What?
That's what those that little side room on his office is for. It's not for garden stuff. It's where Mystic Mug's kept on a little altar, and he has to offer a blood sacrifice each time he wants to know what's going to happen the next week.
It still makes me giggle when I ask Gary, like, the room next to the north wing, like, how are the servants doing? Are they comfortable? And he said, who cares? That's nice.
Oh, did you see what Mr. Morris put in our chat?
No. Let's have a look.
It's before the picture I posted.
Oh my God. No, I'm not going to bring that onto the screen.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite liking this.
What, the picture of the thing that Gary said?
No.
No.
The way this is turning out.
Oh, I'm still on the big screen. Let me. It's not all about me. Let me zoom out. Exit solo layout. There we are. The L Bear.
Yeah. If I maybe add some light onto the subject and focus. There we go.
Wow.
I'm trying to dry brush some of the edges, the feathers and stuff. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Like, if you're walking around in a fantasy world and you come across one of them, I'd be packing darkies.
Especially when you consider that's the size of the baby one.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it's gonna look cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the base for it. That was the base for it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is again.
So go on there.
I think it looks fantastic.
There you go. Yeah. Just need to put a wash on it and things and paint the hands and face. Hello. Someone beeping the horn outside. Okay, you can take me off big screen now.
Okay. Taking you off big screen.
Yay!
Okay. Now I need to remember where this lining goes.
Ooh, NATO brown. That'd be good for the dark tones.
There.
Oh no, service brown.
On the inside of the wheel wells. Alrighty, I'm trying to decide whether to, the big boy build tomorrow, whether to have the decals in place before we go live or whether to do it live. I think most of tomorrow's sesh should be painting the tracks, getting that ready.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. But saying that, yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, this kit, this build of the Victor, I'm loving it. It's absolutely. I mean, I've had it in the stash for a couple of years. Like the first 48 and 48 that I took part in, I bid for this for. I think I paid 60. Here's the thing. I think I paid. Oh, it was my initial bid was $60 Australian.
And nobody else bid.
Nobody else bid, but just before it shut down, I doubled my bid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't do it because I thought I was going to be sniped. I actually did it because I thought, well, all this money is going to a good cause, and it's all about fundraising. So I did that, and that's a true story. But I am more than happy. Like I paid the full price for this kit in Australia, but this has brought me so much joy. Like building it is, and I spent as much on brass as the kit itself and stuff, and I think it's money well spent because the build process has been absolutely enjoyable. And I've been well invested in this kit. It hasn't been just something on the side or whatever. It's just something that I really want to do, and I don't have anything else apart from what we're doing. The train, the CPR, and all that sort of stuff because that's what we do. But this hasn't been a chore at all. It's just been exactly what I want in a model kit. It's just been a lot of fun.
Good. That'll get you doing a Land Rover at some point.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Especially the Hollywood ones, because you have to do the engine on them as well.
I was speaking to Paul earlier. He's in Perth this week again.
What was he criticising you for this time?
Because he said that he put a comment in our stream the other day or the other week or whatever to say you should build a MiG-15 because it's ugly. And it wasn't posted because there was an F word in it. But he said, I stand by my statement. It should have been posted. was wonderful. Like, I spent the day at Photoworld, and there was every time I go in there, I have a conversation with people. Like, the only people that go to air museums are people that are interested in engineering, if not aviation,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff like that. So they ask really good questions. So one of the questions was asked, what do you prefer, an F-15 or an F-18? And of course, the answer is F-15. Because that wing shape is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say an F-18 is a compromise or whatever, but if you see an eagle flying around, there's something absolutely glorious about that plan form of the wing.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about that and all that sort of stuff like that. But for the next, say, half hour or so, we're chatting about that. And then again, the F-35s came down to take off, and he said, what's that? And I said, oh, it sounds like an F-35. How can you tell? Oh, because I've been hanging around them for years. Well, you've seen them take off before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just one of those guys, It's all part of
Yeah.
it.
But it was pretty cool because he came up from Sydney, and he had never. I think he saw them on a certain thing, a supercar race or whatever, and he saw them from a distance and stuff like that. But he'd never seen them up close, and oh my god, the smile on this guy's face, it was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And that makes it all worthwhile because people can travel a couple hundred k's for this stuff, and if they enjoy their day, it's $20 odd to get in, so £10. I think if they enjoy it, I'm happy.
Well, this
But
is the thing, and
it's a good day.
yeah. See, I'd rather go to a place like that because I like stuff like that.
Oh, we've got some stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody. So here's a story. So I was talking to an older gentleman who's 89, and he'd been there all week. So his background was, we were talking for about an hour or so. But what he was saying was, a couple of weeks ago, say a month ago, month and a half,
Yeah.
he came down with pneumonia, and he couldn't get out of his chair. So he said he lives alone with his Rottweiler, however you want to say it. But he said he was so weak I couldn't get up and feed him or feed myself. And for 11 days he couldn't eat anything or whatever. And then somebody put in a call. So he said he's had the ambulance, police, and fireys turn up all at the same time.
Yeah.
Somebody had put in a welfare check or whatever the hell, and he went to hospital and was there for 4 weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
So with pneumonia, he was clearly close to death and
Yeah.
stuff. So now, while he had been recovering, he's staying with I think his granddaughter, who's in the local area, and he's been coming down and spending all day, every day at the museum because he loves engineering. He's always been a fitter and turner. He's never been in aviation, but he's got, he's saying, I've got a Magneto from a Merlin, all this sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we had a really good chat talking about his, so your wife, he was telling me about his wife, how she was, it was a terrible sort of death, which I won't go into, but it's just this guy. He's got all of his faculties and everything else, and it was just he's obviously spent his entire working life as a fitter and turner, so around machines, engineering, and all that sort of stuff. And I asked him, what did he do and where did he work, and he gave me his sort of full sort of rundown. And I'm bloody impressed with what he had done in his working life, and what he had achieved and everything else.
It's like with my granddad. He was a fitter in the mines, and so he started off in Sutton Manor Colliery. That's where he did his apprenticeship and everything. And then when my dad was little, they moved to I think it was Rhodesia. It's either Rhodesia. I can't remember which way round it is. They either moved from Rhodesia to Zambia or from Zambia to Rhodesia. I can't remember which it was. But whichever one they went to first, the crime was that bad that they had to sleep with pistols under the pillows.
Oh, that's no good.
And they had to have the kids' room and their room next to each other, and they had to lock every other door in the house except from the room joining the door joining those two rooms. And there was a night where my granddad was supposed to have been working nights, and they shut the pit early for some maintenance, and so they sent him home with his mates. And instead of going home, they went to the pub, and he got pissed. And so my nan's obviously kids gone to bed, and she's gone around, locked all the house up and everything. She's laying in bed. Next minute, all she can hear is someone sort of heavy-footed stumbling up the stairs. So she shouted his name, and she didn't get an answer. So she shouted it again, no answer. Next minute, all my granddad saw was line of bullet holes open up on the wall next to him. And all she was, bloody hell, Irene, you shot me then. I said, well, you should have answered, you stupid drunken bastard.
Wow.
The pistol he bought her was a machine pistol.
Wow.
So she just sprayed the whole wall. But eventually, because there was a point where their neighbour, somebody tried to rob their neighbour. So he ran outside with his air rifle, thinking that he had gas in it. And he pulled the trigger because the guy went to go for him, and the pellet just dropped out the end of the rifle. So he just legged it back inside and locked all the doors. But it got to a point where they just went, enough's enough, and they packed the kids up in the car and they just drove through the night.
Yeah, right.
To get out of the country.
Yeah.
Apparently it never goes back because it's still under the same sort of regime sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's still technically he's still classed as having breached a government contract. So one of the punishments is that he could be executed for it.
Executed?
Yeah, even though it's like 50 odd years later. It's insane.
Wow. Okay, there we are. So, yeah, my tweezers were a little bit bent, so I had to straighten those up.
Ooh,
okay. Twizzers.
Yes.
Where does this
go?
Geffel.
Geffel.
Geckos.
My wrist just popped.
Oh, backwards.
That's a surprise.
That way around. Okay, that goes there.
At least remember before you stuck it on this time.
Yeah. No, because so here's the thing. This I don't know the details. So this upgrade set is for the Victor B Mark II blue steel exterior. So this bit in particular, 39 goes there beside the nose wheel strut.
Yes.
And there's a couple of T handles on it. Whatever they are, I have no idea. But where that goes is this little. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it's a vent, if you like. I don't know what it is, and I don't really care. Let's focus that. Yeah, so you can see that little square patch there. So that little louver has this part that goes over it. So come on, get off. Oh, we get there. I'll put that on and cover that. I don't know what I'm covering or what with, but I'll do it because it says to do it. And there's also another bit. There's a bit on top of the wing that had a NACA duct, NACA.
Yeah.
Exit duct, and there's two bits of brass that go over those, so they're just there. And I mentioned earlier, so I'm pretty much ready at the point where there's a gap. I haven't done that gap there, so I need to fill that and that one there. I've filled all the other gaps. They're pretty much good to go. So this is almost at the stage of primer, then paint. So earlier today during the Models for Heroes live stream, I put in the instrument panel, the center console. I had to remove the seats to do that because it says in the instructions that you put the seats in first, then you drop in the instrument cluster. I could not get that in. I guess because it's an aftermarket center console there, it was too wide, and I just couldn't get it past the armrests of the chair. So I had to remove the. Well, I had to remove the two ejection seats, but that was good because it gave me an option to. I had missed the little panels on the side of the observation windows there that you won't see once a glare.
You'll know that there.
Yeah, once the glazing's on, you won't see that much. In fact, all that back there is all covered up, so you only see the forward bit there. But the fit, the canopy, the perspex here is absolutely wonderful. So as I mentioned, this is everything that the Matchbox kit wasn't, and I absolutely loved it.
The first bomber to go supersonic or something?
Possibly, yeah, it probably was. So the story goes, one of the prototypes had there's 3 seats at the back facing aft.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the engineers, I think that worked at Handley Page, was facing aft, and he's watching all the telemetry data and everything else. The pilot pushed it nose down and is approaching the speed of sound, but whether he did it on purpose, he wouldn't own up to it or whatever, but basically went through the speed of sound, and as a result, this certainly wasn't the first aircraft that broke the sound barrier, but the guy at the back was the first guy to break the sound barrier facing backwards, which I think is still a pretty bloody good deal.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, I reading about this aircraft, that they say it was no slouch. That the rate of climb was phenomenal for an aircraft this size. Because this is, if that's the size of the seat, this wing is so long.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is as well is
insane.
You've got to remember they were designed in the 40s and 50s.
They were, yeah.
Same
And
with the Vulcan, wasn't it?
the nose of it, like Paul, I know Paul hates it, but it's designed to be pretty much like a round from a rifle. Yeah. That it's designed to be fast. So good on them. And I think it's a fascinating design.
Back when British engineering used to be good.
I may have mentioned on the stream the other day that the book I'm reading at the moment is by Winkle Brown on the Miles M52, the aircraft that was due to break the sound barrier before the Bell X1.
Yeah.
And reading the book, I'm now convinced. I was saying to Gary earlier that I don't think it would have, because it's a centrifugal engine, and the airflow would have to enter the front of the engine and then turn 90 degrees outwards and then turn another 90 degrees go aft, and
too many bends to slow the air down.
And it would be like an air brake. But reading the book, what they're saying is it sounds like, and I have no reason to doubt them, that what they knew when they were doing that is nobody had broken the sound barrier, it's all untested and everything else. But now that they know what they've done, and Britain has done it in various airframes and everything else, that they looked at it again, and it sounds like in a shallow dive it would have certainly broken the sound barrier and would have been good up to 1,000 miles an hour, which is amazing for 1944. And again, it's a lost opportunity and all that sort of stuff. We just don't know.
Thing is, though, would it be like trying to do like 80 mile an hour in an Army Land Rover or something? It's possible, but you really don't want to do it.
I don't know. I think I just don't know. I think it would have been perfectly fine, because they didn't know, so they designed it to be it's like Barnes Wallace. It's like he designed the tall boy and the
bouncer.
No, not the bouncing bomb, but
Yeah, he did.
the Grand Slam. Yeah, he did. But he just designed the tall boy and the Grand Slam bombs to be supersonic, and they were the first things to be designed to be faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same application for that aircraft. And Miles is the aircraft manufacturer that was given to. It was given to them because, of course, they didn't have too many pressing sort of things, contracts and everything else. But it sounds like, I reckon they were onto something. I think this back in the day when everything was slide rule and everything else, I reckon it would have done it. And
Yeah.
it's one of those great what ifs and stuff. So I'm absolutely loving that book. And again, what a smashing sort of. Yes, I chose to go into aviation because I've always been interested in it. But if anything, gave me a greater understanding of, what is necessary, what is possible, and
Yeah.
all that stuff like that. There's a lot of the people I meet at the museum that work in other fields, and it's not a competition as you'd understand about, like, whether you're nothing, you're an accountant, or you're a whatever, you're a mechanic.
Yeah.
What do you know? Like, my view is, like, we all have a shared. They wouldn't turn up to the museum if they didn't have a shared interest.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
spend all the time I can with them and explain things that they either have pressing questions for, or things that they're not sure about, and I do the best I can. And
Yeah.
it's just a really enjoyable day every time I turn up.
See, this thing, I think, say if you came, because imagine when you come over in 2027, you're not going to just be coming for 2 days. But can imagine if you went to Cosford, it would take about a week just for you to get around there with all this information you'd have.
Well, yeah, but again, I am mindful of the fact that I don't know everything and all that sort of stuff like that, and yeah, there is that. There's a bit of humility and all that goes with it. So there we go.
Yeah.
That fits well.
Yeah. Well, apparently my tea's ready, John.
Well, I'm about to bail because I've put the last bit of brass on that I can before I prime the thing.
Excellent.
So thanks for joining me, Mikey. Thanks for people watching the stream. Thanks for people watch that in the dim, distant future. 2 thumbs up. I'll do the same. Thank you very much. Impromptu live stream went very well. Look after yourselves. Guru.
Bye.